Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening, Ashu. Are you there? Hello, Tanisha.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
I think they are joining, like Harini and Afoma is present.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've shared the link, but I think
Mhm.
they are joining in 2 3 minutes.
Okay, no problem, no problem.
So Afoma is presented and Harini is doing the demo.
Okay. Hello, Afoma.
Yeah, I'm here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, let me share my screen.
Yes, if you are ready, then you can proceed. Thank you.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Yeah, can you see my screen?
So we can see.
All right. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Afom and I'm from Group-4. So today we are looking at EpicBook production deployments. Okay, so this is what we're looking at today, how to go about it and how to deploy it correctly. So I'm going to first of all show you everything you need to do before my colleague comes up with the practical, with the demo. So this is, I'm going to explain everything. So right now, what are we actually building? So this assignment is to deploy a real web application called EpicBook to a cloud virtual machine. We will use two industry standard tools, and those two tools are Terraform and Ansible. Terraform is to provision the cloud infrastructure, while Ansible is to configure and deploy the application onto the infrastructure. So I'm going to show you the system architecture. So this is what it's going to look like. Okay, now this is a virtual machine. This is the virtual machine, and this is going to be done by Terraform. Okay, so Terraform does this, and then Ansible reads the playbook to deploy it, and then you go to the browser, you see everything, you see your playbook, you'll be able to cut the books you want or anything. So we're using these two tools for this work. But before we go into it, I want to quickly talk about the key concepts. First of all, the Terraform. So what is Terraform? we hear Terraform, is actually an infrastructure as code tool, and it lets you describe your entire cloud setup in a simple text files. Instead of clicking around Azure portal or AWS, trying to do everything manually, you just come here and instruct Terraform on what to do for you, and then the magic comes up, okay? And it remembers everything it's created. So on the next run, it can also compare your code against reality, all right? Then after doing whatever you want to do, you can also destroy. So you destroy resources, everything automatically. You don't have to go on there to go and start doing things. So Terraform is there to help you and make your work really, really easy. Then the next one, Ansible. Now, what is Ansible? Ansible is also there to help us to make our work very, very easy. Okay, it's a configuration management tool. It connects servers on plain SSH and runs instructions you define in YAML files called playbooks. It uses playbooks. All you need to do is just give instructions there. And YAML files uses very simple code, something you can understand very well. Okay, it's not like Chef or Puppet. It's very, very agentless. There is nothing to install on your target virtual machine. Ansible temporarily uploads small Python scripts. It executes them and reports back the results. Then it cleans it up. Okay, that means that you can manage any server that has SSH and Python. Any server that uses SSH, you can manage it with Ansible. It's very clear and very straightforward. Then we look at the word playbook. When I was talking about Ansible, I talked about playbook. All right. Now, what is playbook? Playbook is the master instruction document, okay? And it tells Ansible what to do, on which server, in what order. It is written in YAML files, okay? And it's a human readable format. It's very plain, okay? So you can always understand it. Okay, now, when you think of playbook, think of a recipe book. A recipe book, each step has a task. So that is how playbook is too. When you run Ansible playbook sites YML, Ansible reads the entire book from top to bottom and executes every single thing for you. Now, after playbook, let's check. Okay, yeah, for playbook too. Then for your playbook, it always starts with 3 dashes, which means that YAML's, that's why YAML's way of saying the document begins here. Every play inside the playbook must define at minimum 2 things: the host, which tells Ansible which server to target, and a list of either tasks or roles to execute on those servers. Now we go to the next one, that is roles. Now for your roles too, as your Ansible playbook grows, putting everything in one file becomes very boring. It becomes so big, okay? So what do? We have to use roles, okay? Roles solve this problem by splitting everything, okay, into units. So each one with its own responsibility. The common role knows nothing about Nginx. One Nginx knows nothing about MySQL, okay? Then the EpicBook is also there handling its own application. They're all separate, okay, giving out their own instructions, which Ansible will read and then work with all of them, okay? So this helps to make work a bit, it makes it look very simple, so it doesn't look very complex and confusing. Then we go to the next one, that's idempotency. Okay, when you talk about idempotency, it's just like, imagine you give a command and probably you want to install something and the thing has been installed before. So what idempotency means that when you give that command, it will run, it will not truncate what you've done before, it will not override it, it will not give you error. Okay, it will run it and tell you completed, but it will tell you that it didn't give out and that there's no change, didn't make any change or anything. Okay, so it just runs. If the thing has been installed there, fine, it skips it. Okay, so this is one of the most important concepts in infrastructure automation. The idempotent operation produces the same result, whether you run it once or you run it 100 times. So in Ansible, before installing a package, it checks if it's already installed. If yes, it reports okay, and then it moves on. It does not, it can't change anything, okay? It can't change anything. It's not going to destroy the one you've done before. It will just move on. And also, before creating a file, it checks if the file already exists. And if it exists, it will skip. That means you can rerun your playbook at any time to fix something, to apply updates, or onboard a new server without worrying about breaking things that have already been put in place. All right. So the next one, handlers. Okay. These ones, they work based on requests. Okay, so just imagine you have 5 tasks that all modify the Nginx config. Without handlers, you would need to restart Nginx every single task. But with handlers, even if only one of them actually made a change, handlers solve that elegantly. Any task that modifies config says notify. Whenever they modify anything, it sends signal to handler to what? It notifies handler, then the handler will do what? It will reload the Nginx. It sits and waits and also expects whenever anything happens, it takes over and then it reruns and give you everything in the way it's supposed to be. And this prevents unnecessary service interruptions. So we go to the next one. Group vars. Okay, for group vars, the variables here are defined once and are used everywhere. It's not as a single source of truth for all hosts in a group. Okay, then yeah. So these are all the key concepts I talked about just now. Now look at our structure. This is how it's going to look like. Okay, you have your EpicBook production. This is the structure. The Terraform Azure. Then under Terraform Azure, you have your providers TF, you have your variables TF, you have your main TF, and you have your outputs TF. Then for Ansible, you have your inventory ini, you have your sites YML, you have your group vars, you have your roles, and then you have your EpicBook, your Nginx, the tags, and everything. You can see how it looks like. Okay. Then, all right, now this is what we are going at. Okay, now we have, like I said before, we are looking at, we are using 2 tools. So for the first phase, we are using Terraform. So what is Terraform doing for us? It's going to create a virtual machine. It's going to create a virtual network, a subnet, a firewall, and then our public IP. All right, this is pure infrastructure, no software installed yet. Then the Ansible, this one SSHs into the VM and configures it automatically. It installs Nginx, Node.js, MySQL, it clones the app, it sets the database, starts the app with PM2. Now, this is our phase 1, all right? So this is what Terraform is going to do for us. So once we finish setting up we set up our main TF, we set up our variables, our outputs, and everything. Once we are done with that, the next thing we do is to initialize. Once we initialize, then we plan. That's called Terraform plan. After planning, then we apply. Once we apply, boom, public IP is out, and then we use it for the Ansible. Now let's go to phase 2 to see what we're doing. Now for the phase 2, this is where Ansible comes in now for phase 2. So Ansible, first of all, you have 3 roles. You have the common, you have the Nginx, and you have the EpicBook. Then the common, look at all the things we're going to do: update package cache, you update all packages, install Git, core, and zip, disable root SSH login, disable password authentication. Then for the Nginx, it installs Nginx, deploys EpicBook, enable sites, remove default sites, start plus enable Nginx service. Then the EpicBook, it clones the GitHub repo, it installs Node.js, it installs MySQL, and it sets the database, it installs PM2, starts the app, and then it reloads Nginx, and boom, that is what my colleague is coming to do, my friend. Irene should be very soon should be here to show you how all of these things can be achieved. All right, so these are the command reference, okay? All of the commands you need to achieve this. These are the Terraform init, the Terraform plan, then the apply, then you get your output. Then you come to Ansible. This is what you're going to use your Ansible all -1 inventory.ini -10 ping. Because of our ping, then before you run the full deployment. Once you ping and it's successful, then you run the full deployment. Okay, so this is what success looks like. The moment you run the full deployment and you get this, like, okay, nothing failed, then you're good to go. All right. So these are most of the challenges people face and how to solve them. Whether you're having issues with your GitHub or your it's back gateway or books not showing, and forbidding 403 forbidding, MySQL access denied. These are all the ways to solve them. So I can't start talking about them now. I want to give her any time to do the practical. So this is it, deployment complete. So once you're done with this, you just go online and then use a public IP and everything will come up. Thank you so much. And So now I'm making way for my colleagues to come up with the practical so that you can understand this better. Thank you and have a great day. Irene,
Excellent demo. Thank you.
Thank you, Afoma. Thank you for explaining the EpicBook app detailed. Hi guys, I'm Harni. I'm going to walk you through live demonstration of the EpicBook using two powerful tools like Afoma explained. Terraform is for infrastructure provisioning and Ansible for configuration management. Let me share my screen. I hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, it is visible.
Thanks. Okay, let me start with the step-by-step procedure. As Afoma already explained, it is EpicBook production deployment. As Afoma already explained, it is the project OV. We are going to use Terraform to provision all the cloud infrastructure and Ansible to configure the server and deploy the applications. So these are the folder structure which is already shown and explained by Afoma. So we can proceed with the demonstration directly. So our first step is Terraform setup. Actually, we have already added the codes in Terraform main TF outputs and providers, which is required to proceed with this task. So I'm going to start with the Terraform initiation, which is our first step. So always make sure to be in the Terraform directory. So then we can able to perform the Terraform unit. Otherwise, we will get this message. So change directory to Terraform. Okay. But it's not something. Okay, let me go back to the directory and like Terraform. Terraform. So we have the Terraform action. As I told, we have the Terraform folder and it has the code already in all the, we have added all the codes within the main.tf variable.tf, provider.tf and terraform.tf were file for passing local variables. So now we can begin with Terraform initiation. So we are starting with the Terraform init. Okay, it is taking time now. Okay, it started initializing. it started reusing reusing the dependency because I have already used this. It is already recalling that all the provider plugins. But it's not. Gus, please mute yourself. Uma Maheshwari, can you please mute yourself?
Sure.
Fill in the process. It's slow. In the meantime, let me show you my Ansible folder. The roles that have been created are common, EpicBook and engineers. I have initiated the common role. So I would get, it will generate all these files. In the task, we could see that main.yml. It has the code of what common role going to do. It is going to update the cache. Once we run the playbook, first it is going to update the cache, update all packages, and install all the baseline packages. Then it is disable root SSH login because it is best practice to disable the root SSH login in our web servers. And also it is disable password authentication. And actually I'm using AWS in this here. So password authentication is not available in AWS. So we are using PemKey. Let me see, is it done? Yeah, it's done. It has been initiated successfully. So now we are proceeding with the Terraform plan to see, to review the provisioning. I think my system got hacked. I don't know why it is happening. Terraform is going to, it will take few times. Minutes. Okay. We can review other roles files, and I have been added. add a handler to restart the SSH. Here we see we have the notify restart SSH, right? It is going to call the handler to restart the SSH. Next role is Nginx. In Nginx task, we have main.yml file. We could say it will install apt and deploy EpicBook Nginx config from the template. Let me show you. I could show you EpicBook config template in a template folder. First, go through this main.yml file. Next, we are enabling the EpicBook site using the symlink to sites enabled, which is we are mostly doing this on manual before we have started using this Ansible. And it will remove the default Nginx site, ensure it started, and last task is ensure it is started and enabled. Let's check it. Okay. It's still in pending state. Let's wait for a few minutes. Even here we have used handler using the notify reload Nginx, because every time we are adding something in our Nginx page, we have to reload the Nginx, right? So we have added the Nginx reload using notify. Let us reload Nginx reloaded, and here are the template file. This template file is to add it on the added to deploy Nginx site config template. So last one was EpicBook. EpicBook tasks have in EpicBook role, we are going to clone the Git repository and install Node.js dependencies and create DB file config. And check if DB is already imported, because due to idempotency, once I done the configuration and website is live, I rerun the playbook. It was started creating the database schema again. So I have fixed the issue by adding this snippet. Check if database already imported. If database is already imported, it is going to skip by using this variable. It is gonna route out. It is a simple code to skip this part to bring the idempotency. So it is gonna skip this part. If we rerun the playbook again, if the database is already imported, and it is gonna install PMP2 globally and check if, and also it is gonna check if app is already running in PM2. It is also, this snippet also added for the idempotency check. And it's going to start the app with idempotency and enable PMP2 startup on boot. These are the roles and the main tasks. And it doesn't have any handler, right? And it have config file for the database configurations. We have added database configuration files under the template, and it is going to take our DB username, DB password, DB name, and DB hostname through the group group variables. It is also the local variable file. We are giving our data, this file details. Here we are going, once our Terraform is completed and it is provisioned and created all the resources, we are going to replace here our RDS endpoint here and our inventory file. And this is our inventory file. Here we are going to replace, it is my old VM public IP address. So once our Terraform is completed its work and a VM is created, we are going to replace the public IP address here. And this is the PIN key location to log into the Ansible is going to use the PIN key to log into the SSH. Let's see if it's done. Okay. Okay, we got an error. Let's try again. Plan. When loading schemas, components, valid time schema, putting the schema for process. It seems like a timeout error. Let's try again to see if it uploads again or not. But we could see that AWS file is already in use. Hmm. Data sets here.
What can delete all the Terraform files like .terraform and initialize again. We can do that.
Let me know.
just a problem. We can use it is one.
Okay, got it. Let me do.
Give any commands, just run that command. Maybe one.
It is not allowing me. It is not completed the Terraform plan. Once it exited, I'll try to run the Terraform minute again. So already have the packages here. It is exited.
Hello, Harry.
Yes.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes. Tell me.
Okay. You know what? I somehow faced this same issue when I was doing my own, when I was trying to provision my infrastructure using Terraform. So I don't know if you can delete the dots Terraform, like all those files that usually the Terraform plan and Terraform
Okay.
init usually creates. Delete them, then
This right?
change. Yeah, those files. Yes. This does Terraform log. Then
Vanessa has
this
given the
Terraform,
comments. You can use that as well.
so that we can start. There's another one. This Terraform does Terraform.
This one.
Yes, even the Terraform. There's a Terraform there.
Sorry, can you please repeat again?
Yeah.
Are you telling me to delete this Terraform.log HCL or Terraform?
Terraform
Under your
dot Terraform folder.
does
You have to
Terraform
delete the
folder.
Terraform.
Yeah.
Yeah, dot Terraform folder. Delete it. I have given you the command. Just run the
Then,
commands. I have given you. Just check the Zoom.
It is already created and everything.
yeah, that one. Then you open another new terminal.
Why you are
This
deleting
Terraform
the
log.
Terraform folder?
It is
No, the
being
one that Terraform created after you run that Terraform in it, so that we can start afresh. Let's see.
I'm not getting why she is deleting Terraform folder.
because Terraform plan is not working.
So that she, yes, so that she
Then
can
she has to delete.
run Terraform in it.
Wait. Then she has to
I
delete
want
Terraform TF state and the TF state backup also she has to delete. Then only it will work.
the Terraform states and this thing, Terraform state backup.
This one?
Yeah,
Yes,
both the state file you have to delete. Then you have to run the
the two of them. Yes,
init plan and apply.
Okay.
yes. You can actually open a new window, as in a new terminal. Sorry.
Okay. Actually, it was worked fine before. I have tried 3 times actually before the.
Exactly. Okay. What of this the Terraform?
This one?
I guess we are supposed to delete it so that yes, no, there is before yes that one.
This one?
Yes.
No, in this file only
No,
the all.
I don't want no
that's
no
the
no.
folder.
Okay,
That's the
okay.
folder.
Sorry,
So
Then okay, open a new terminal. Then start
Yeah,
from
yeah. I'm
terraforming
able
it.
to.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
you can use Control tilde to open a terminal. Control plus tilde on your VS Code.
Control plus.
No, Control tilde. Tilde is under your escape key.
Okay.
Is new terminal that you're going to open.
Arini,
Me that VS Code terminal.
yeah, just click on the
No,
VS Code.
yes.
Actually, I have configured it everything on that web Windows
Your WS.
subsystem units. Yeah, WSL. So it is not
Yeah.
working here because it is
Just
taking that
type
Ansible there.
No, you can
just
actually
type
open another new
Ubuntu.
terminal from here.
Just type Ubuntu. Type Ubuntu.
Actually, my system is getting slow now.
No
I
issues.
didn't.
Just
Sorry.
wait. Type Ubuntu. You can see. It was yes. Click on this.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then Terraform is
Let's bit faster. It is done. Let me try Terraform plan now.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm just reading now. Okay,
Okay.
it's great.
I'm good.
Thank you, guys.
No problem. You're welcome.
Okay. These are all the resources that are going to provision for our EpicBook app. There are 12 resources. Let me review them one by one. The first one is we are going to provision the database instance, which is named as EpicBook DB. This is all the fields that are going to apply after the creation, and DB subnet group and web under web VM internet gateway. And for internet gateway, we are getting the public route table and public association, subnet association, and RDS subnet group, security group, sorry, and web security group. Our private subnet for RDS database, and our public subnet for EpicBook VM, and our main VPC to connect all the, to have all the outside of the internet. We are going to provide 12 to add, 0 to change, and 0 to destroy, and we are going to apply
Check for sharing.
yeah. started giving all the Terraform details what we got on Terraform plan. So it is all good. So we can proceed with the creating AWS resources. Once it's done, it will give us the output which is VM, public IP, and RDS endpoint. We are going to use it on our Ansible files. We are going to use our public IP in Ansible inventory.ini file and RDS endpoint to group variables file in Ansible configuration. All our resources are created and our EpicBook DB RDS and DB instance only pending to create. Mostly it will take 4 to 5 minutes or almost 7 minutes. Usually maybe like takes time. Let's wait. This is our playbook file. So until it's get completed, yeah, it's done. All the resources are being done and we are got our outputs. Our user is, since I'm using AWS, our admin username is by default is Ubuntu and our EC2 public IP is given and audience endpoint is given. So we are now going to make note of this. As in the step one, we have done that our step one Terraform setup. We have done Terraform initiation, Terraform plan, and Terraform apply. Now we got the output of EC2 public IP, admin user, and audience input. Now we are going to the step two, which is configuring Ansible. We are going to update our inventory file with our given IP address, which is the recent one, which is generated here. And we are going to update our audience endpoint in group vars folder. So it is going to okay. Let's make sure that is it. Yeah. We have updated our audience endpoint in DB hostname. So it is going to use as a DB hostname in our roles file to configure the DB and import DB. So our next step is, so we have done our configuration as well. We have updated our VM public IP and we have added our DB hostname as our audience endpoint name. So now we are going to test our configuration by doing this to make sure that our Ansible is able to ping our VM. So to run this, we need to go to Ansible folder. So I'm running this to check our Ansible is able to ping our VM. Okay, it is doing it for posting. It is asking for our fingerprint. It is as normal. Okay, it's good that we got the message as success. It means our Ansible is able to connect with our VM. And also we can check our SSH. Sorry. We can check we are able to SSH into the okay. Going to SSH into our network. It see we are able to do it. Yes, we are able to log into our web application VM. So the test is good. So you can exit and we can proceed with our Ansible. Now our next step is run the Ansible playbook. This is the code I'm going to use to run our playbook. Started. It is going in the order how we set up in the site.yml file. The playbook, it is first started the common playbook and Nginx and it will move to Epic playbook. It is going to it is going to provision or confirm all the details which have been given in the codes. Now it started updating the cache. Now it's doing the common playbook. Upgrading packages is done. Now we are going to install all the baseline packages which is required for our EpicBook application, which is Git, curl, all the applications that are going to install in our web. Going to get curl, unzip software properties, command, Node.js, npm, and MySQL client, and Python 3 UI MySQL. It is going to install all these software packages and check if it is present, and will let you know the status of changed or okay or failed anything which is happening. It is going to reflect here. It will take some time to install all the packages and dependencies. Install baseline has been done, and we disable root SSH login also done. Password authentication done, and it's now we started SSH as we did as we added the handler. Now it started doing that another play called Nginx. Now it is installing Nginx. Now we can check. Final to bad gateway means Nginx is already installed and configured. Final to that gateway means now it is currently working on DB configuration. So we are getting this final to bad gateway. Once it is all done, we are able to view our app is live. Now it's currently on installing PM to global installation. And everything is done. Now we can check our app is live. Rate our app is live, and everything's good. We can able to add up to cart, and we can check out. It means our DB is as well as configured correctly. It's all this. Our app is as well live. Let me know if you guys have any questions.
Thank you so much for a wonderful session. Guys, if you have any questions, then please ask.
From which file it is executing all the commands? You are on mute.
You're on mute, Harini. You're on mute.
Uh, For Ansible, it is running from site.yml file, which is our playbook name I have given here. Site.yml. It does have all the roles configured here.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, how I am just asking like how it is updating and all, like where are the commands?
Okay. How it is all updating, right? Roles are for specific. If we have all the, we can have all the commands in same file, which is difficult to go through and difficult to read and difficult to run because it is a large huge file. So we are created the roles which is used for specific task or specific functions. So we are creating these roles. So based on these roles, we are setting up those roles in that site.yml file. Here we are mentioned that roles is common, and here we have mentioned the role as Nginx, role has playbook. We are calling this EpicBook from here to this /_/common, this task main.yml file. It is going to call here. If I mentioned common here, it is going to call the role common under the common, the task main.yml file that we are configured here, all the steps here. I hope I answered your question.
So that means I can't write that all things in that main.yaml file, or sorry, site.yaml.
Sorry, can you please repeat?
Like I'm saying, if I means you have segregated everything, but I'm saying that what if I write, what if I wrote, if I want to write all the things in the site.yaml, so will it work or not?
Yeah, it will work, but it will be a long file, right? It will actually, every file has the 30 to 40 lines here. So if we added everything in same file, it will be like 100 to 200 lines, right? For this one simple project, right? It is a static website. For even static website, it is 200 lines, right? It is easy, hard to read and to find if there is any issues or if we want to configure or change anything. So it is best practice to segregate it in roles, but it is also working in a single file. Like we can have single file, single playbook, which have the 200 or 1000 lines. It is work, right? It will definitely work very good.
All right, and I can see there are different folders. So can you tell me like why these folders? Like I can see the templates are there, tests are there, wars are there. Where are you using these folders in this code, in this project?
Which one? This, right?
This templates,
Yeah,
tests.
templates is used to store our local. Actually, if we want to share our file directly to our server, we can add those files here. We can add those files or add those contents here. So it is easy to transfer these files to our web server or applications, anything we are running on the playbook. We are trying to call it over the playbook. Templates is used to store the files, which is easy to transfer to, sorry, which is, we have files that, sorry, have templates, sorry. We have
Okay,
files for it.
and how you create it, all this structure? Like you did it on, or you use some tools, AI tools or what?
No. For roles, we have to run that roles.galaxy in it. We can provide the role name which we want to require. I have run the command to create all these file structure, which is Ansible-Galaxy init role name. So if we done that, it will create the role folder, and within the role folder, the required role name, and it has all these files by default. We can use which files which is required for us. So for this project, I have mostly used a task. Task is required one. and handler and templates for few other tasks. We can use defaults for storing variables as well. Meta for giving the metadata of our code, metadata of our details like
All
who
right,
is the
all right.
author, description, company. Yes.
Thank you.
Guys, if you have any question, then please ask. Else, we are good to go. Aaron, you explained very well.
Thank you, sir.
That was good. That was good.
Thank you,
Okay,
Bhupendra.
okay, guys. Thank you so much. If there is no question, then we can wind up. Okay. Thank you all. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.